Good morning. Welcome to Christian Devotions with Adam. I would like to start out with yesterday I actually found something out because I'm not an expert in politics or expert in voting or anything like that. I've kind of just, voted for several years now, but there was a time period that I really didn't vote all that much often, or it wasn't very important to me. So I haven't really learned. I think this year is probably one of the first years that I've really paid attention and to how things really function, rather than just getting a ballot in the mail and then reviewing the stances and the plans of each individual, going over it and kind of just figuring out who I was going to vote for. But apparently, you here in Oregon, like I was like, hey, if you guys haven't turned in your ballot yesterday, maybe it's too late to mail it in, so go vote in person. Well, here in Oregon, apparently you cannot vote in person. You could only vote by ballot. And the ballot has to be dropped off by 8 p.m. on November 3rd, or Election Day. So that was a learning experience for me. But thankfully, both myself and my son turned ours in on the 20th of last month is when it was recorded. So it was so I'm thankful that our vote was entered in on time and actually early. I was one of those early bird voters, I suppose. But let's continue to pray for our country and continue to pray for conservative Christian leadership within our government system. It's so easily for government establishment to fall into sin and separation of God. Well, separation of God, that's the biggest sin of all. That's the beginning of all sins. Is as soon as you start to separate from God, all sorts of bad things start to happen. But this country is recognized as a Christian country from the rest of the world. Though we allow people to practice their beliefs and their religions within our country, we give them the freedom. But that freedom was intended and meant for the one true God and Christian believers, first and foremost. Okay? First and foremost, Christians need to have the liberty, because that's the one and only true religion out there. And that's the religion that we want to share, not force, but share upon all of our neighbors and friends and family and people that come into our country, foreigners and stuff like that. We want to be able to share with them Jesus Christ, because once they come to a place of acknowledgement and the knowing and the experience of knowing Jesus Christ, then they will see why their religion was false and this religion is true. We have a living God, they don't. Our God is real, tangible, living, living, and he actually interacts with us in all reality of life, whereas theirs don't. So with that being said, just continue to pray for our leaders and pray that conservative Christians get voted into office and into power, positions of power within our country. So I'm going to be reading from Our Daily Bread, and today's title is Relaxing with Purpose. Today is November 4th. It's a Wednesday, so it's a traditional day for churchgoers to get together and fellowship with one another. So I encourage you to do that today, whether it's online or in person. I strongly suggest just wearing a face mask and just meeting in person. Keep your social distancing at this point in time, and get around other human beings. Break the monotony of this coronavirus type of thing and get back in fellowship with other Christians. It's very important. It'll fill your heart with joy. So today is relaxing with purpose. 4 things on earth are small, yet they are extremely wise. Proverbs 30:24. Ramesh loves to tell others about Jesus. He boldly speaks with co-workers, and one weekend each month returns to his village to evangelize from house to house. His enthusiasm is contagious, especially since he's learned the value of taking time to rest and relax. Ramesh used to spend every weekend and most evenings proclaiming the gospel. His wife and children missed him when he was out, and they found him exhausting when he was around. He needed to make every minute and conversation count. He couldn't enjoy games or small talk. Ramesh was wound too tight. He was awakened to his imbalance by the honest words of his wife, the counsel of friends, and somewhat obscure passages of scripture. Proverbs 30 mentions trivial things such as ants, roosters, and locusts. It marvels how a lizard can be caught with the hand, yet it is found in king's places. Ramesh wondered how something so mundane made it into the Bible. Observing lizards required significant downtime. Someone saw a lizard darting around the palace and thought that it's interesting, and paused to watch some more. Perhaps God included in his word to remind us to balance work with rest. We need hours to daydream about lizards, catch one with our kids, and simply relax with family and friends. May God give us wisdom to know when to work, serve, and relax. That right there is written by Mike Whitmer, and those are some seriously wise words right there. I know that when I first was born again, and I became a follower of Jesus, I was absolutely on fire, and I was just at the church like every single day doing whatever I possibly could. And I remember one of the pastors telling me, his name was Brent Williams, he told me, Adam, what are you doing at the church? Go home, spend some time with your family. You're gonna destroy your family if you don't spend time around them. And I really didn't understand that. I was really immature at the time. I was young. I didn't have very much life experience, and he was right. Being unbalanced in your life is detrimental to both your life here on earth and your life with Christ, your relationship with Christ. So it's important to find that healthy balance where you rest and you find recreation. God, if you look throughout the Old Testament, he's the God that put together 7 festivals. If you look throughout the Jewish calendar, these people worked hard, and they had a lot of recreation, and they had rest every single week. God commanded them to rest every Saturday on the Sabbath, and then on top of that, throughout the year, he commanded them to rest for like a week at a time, several times a year. There are 7 holy days. So just wow, that's a lot of that's a lot of kicking back, relaxing, and enjoying each other's company, and also worshiping God. So we serve a God that is not only a God of work, not only a God of relationship, but a God of relaxation and recreation. So just remember that we have an all-encompassing God. So hey, God bless you. Once again, I encourage you to hook up with some church group, some support group, Christian support group of whatever kind, whether it's a Bible study or a weekend service, or maybe it's just a time of worship or prayer or whatever it might be. I encourage you to connect with other human beings and get attached to some local congregation around about where you live. It's very, very, very important. So hey, God bless you, and you have a wonderful Wednesday. I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.